Okay, hello and welcome to my presentation on the problems of cyberbullying and sexting related to modern technology and education. Cyberbullying is a major problem today. It includes the use of rumors, embarrassing pictures, harassing messages, and the creation of fake profiles, and using technology to disseminate these harmful mistruths and painful things through the use of modern technology, including text messages, emails, online chat, social media, apps, and websites, and sometimes even through video games. The nature of bullying has changed. It has completely shifted away from in-person, physical, face-to-face bullying to bullying being an online issue. In the past, bullying would typically occur at school, and there were many laws in place to prevent bullying and protect students who were the victims of bullying, and empowering teachers and administrators to handle bullying on campus. However, many states do not have any laws in place protecting against cyberbullying, which often takes place off campus and online. The pervasive nature of social media makes this incredibly difficult because new apps like WhatsApp, and particularly Snapchat, Snapchat deletes messages after they're being sent. So cyberbullying is often difficult to detect because the evidence that can be used to prosecute cyberbullies is often deleted and is gone forever through apps like Snapchat. Cyberbullying can include a lot of things. It can include the sending of nude photos to friends and to the internet at large after a breakup. This is sometimes called revenge porn, and it can be a serious problem. We've seen it in the news recently with various celebrities being affected by this. Spreading lies and false accusations against peers and classmates on social media. A particularly pernicious example of cyberbullying includes the creation of false profiles to belittle others. This is sometimes called catfishing, tricking a student into an online relationship and then breaking their heart when it turns out that they didn't have a real relationship at all. And probably the worst effect of cyberbullying is the potential to encourage self-harm or suicide, which has frequently happened, unfortunately, sometimes with even parents being involved, picking on their children's friends and others. So cyberbullying can be a serious problem. Sexting is also an incredibly serious problem associated with modern technology, which can be incredibly pervasive among young people. The term sexting comes from the idea of sex texting and refers to sending, receiving, or forwarding sexually explicit photos, messages, or videos via technology. The problem of sexting is that consent is often difficult to establish. It's a problem not only, it can definitely be a problem between boyfriend and girlfriend because if and when a breakup occurs, those sexually explicit photos do not go away, and often, as I mentioned before, revenge porn can be the result. Another huge problem of sexting is the idea of consent, especially with tools like AirDrop through Apple services. It can happen that a picture of someone's genitals can just pop up on your phone unwarranted and uninvited, which makes consent an issue. This could be considered serious sexual harassment and sexual assault in some extreme cases. A challenge of sexting that teenagers don't seem to understand is that it's incredibly popular to send these sexually explicit messages to someone you're seeing or dating, but one study has found that as many as 60% of those texts are not private anymore. They are often leaked online and disseminated to the public at large. I wanted to show some charts here about some of the biggest problems of health concerns for children as rated by adults. Childhood obesity remains number one, but bullying, as we see, remains number two. Cyberbullying, which this also includes cyberbullying. If you notice, internet safety is also high on that list. Internet safety and bullying now go hand in hand together. And sexting, as you see, has jumped up several spots to be number 6 on this list as of 2015. As we kind of see this other chart, that parents often remain oblivious of cyberbullying and sexting, even when they try and monitor their children's devices. Teenagers are incredibly effective at finding workarounds, especially with modern technology. They grew up with this technology. To them, it's a tool, it's a habit, And so finding ways to prevent their parents from knowing that they engage in either cyberbullying or sexting can be incredibly difficult to suss out. Now, all of this leads us to potential solutions. How do we stop cyberbullying and sexting? And the answer that I was able to come up with from various sources and just through my own logical thinking is that young people need to be aware of the consequences of engaging in cyberbullying and sexting. They need to understand the laws. They need to understand the prevalence of such issues. And I think the best way to do this is through digital citizenship courses. Especially in schools that have one-to-one learn initiatives, digital citizenship has to be mandatory. Students need to be aware that sexting and cyberbullying affects more than just them. In addition, parents also need this training. Parents must be actively involved in monitoring their children's online behavior and activities. And in order to do that, in many cases, parents need to be trained on the use of these modern technologies, which have changed so much in just the last 5 to 10 years. Teachers and administrators can look for signs of cyberbullying and sexting. Some of those signs include an increase or decrease in the use of devices, angry or emotional responses or outbursts to their devices. This can be seen if a student angrily puts their phone down in a rage, or even like maybe I've seen students throw it across a room or chuck it away from themselves. This is a warning sign that something is going on online that is unsavory. When students avoid social situations and changes in behavior, including lashing out or hiding their social media from others, all of these can also be applied to typical signs of depression, looking for changes in grades and in attendance records, all of which can provide a warning sign to teachers and administrators to get involved. In some extreme cases of cyberbullying and sexting, the law enforcement can and should be brought in to address these challenges. Cyberbullying and sexting, unfortunately, are not problems that are going to go away. They're not, and they also don't have easy solutions. These are things that spreading awareness and understanding that often cyberbullying and sexting happens at higher rates than we believe they happen. It's important to keep those things in mind, to be aware of it, look for the signs, and apply these solutions. And that's my presentation.